Hello everyone. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. So we are going to be working with July stamp of the month today. And I'm just getting a few things ready for us while everybody gets their notifications that I'm live. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Happy Monday. Today we are working with the July stamp of the month, which is gorgeous. So it has 20 stamps in it, all like floral and beautiful sentiments. I love the font on these sentiments. I'll bring this up a little bit so that you can see them. Just a nice combo of script and regular style font. I'm not reversed in font names, but I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. They've given some really awesome sample artwork here, but I've gone ahead and I have used the brush Bring Back My Pack collection, and I've created 3 separate kits using the July stamp of the month. And so today this week we're going to work on kit number 1. And so here are the cards that I've done with this, and I think this is so much fun. And this one's like a little bit of a trickster here because there's a little tab and you just pull it up and voila, you have a hidden picture in there. So I'm so excited to show you how to put all of these together and just kind of go over how awesome these are. So my kits are available to you as a thank you for free when you place an order with me on my website and you qualify to get this beautiful stamp set for that $5 price point. So it's a savings of $13.59. So if it's something that's on your wish list, go ahead and get that for that $5 price point. It's a stamp set that you're just going to have forever and ever. I swear you're going to use it over and over. And then again, you'll get one of the 3 kits as a thank you, and you get to choose, and it's while supplies last. So if a kit goes, you might want to hurry up and get in there. I just have a couple of kit 1 left, so we don't want to really delay. So today I'm going to start off with just a very simple card that I've done here, and just how we elevate this, bring it to life, and get it all together. So when you get your kit from me, it will come packaged like this. So you have all your card bases, all your envelopes, and in each side, in each of your card bases, will be the elements that you need. So if you have small elements, I'll make sure they're in a baggie for you so you don't lose them. Everything is going to be pre-cut and ready to go for you. So this element right here, pre-cut, ready to go. All of the shaker kit elements, everything is going to be pre-cut. Everything will be in here. I'll even include the sequins that you need to either decorate or create a shaker card. I won't include the acetate sheets. Those are just not easily or readily available in my area to cut down to the square size. So I won't be including the acetate sheet, but everything else will be included, and then you will use your new stamp set to finish the cards off. So it's just a great way to break that in. So let's start with this card right here, and it is Sure Do Miss You, Sending My Love. It's such a cute card. So some of the supplies that you're going to need for this is obviously you'll need your 2x2 block. Let's see if I got it in frame. So you need your 2x2 block. You're going to need your scissors and all of your little cut pieces. It comes with it. And I'll have your white daisy in there too. And you'll want some stickles. So I used the silver stickles. I think they're so cute. It's a great way to add that. And then you'll want some 3D foam tape, squares, dots, whatever it is that you have on hand to pop this little piece up right here. So you're going to start with our card base. And I'm just going to fold this out. And when you have these and if you need to finish scoring them or folding them, you always want to start in the middle with your bone folder and then work your way out. And then that helps keep everything nice and even. So here's our card base. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of cutting here for our little piece that goes in here where we'll actually be doing our stamping. So let me move all of this off to the side right here. And so my piece, this is all pre-cut for you, but I'm just going to kind of go over some measurements with you. So this piece right here, which is our base piece, I just like to use my trimmer as a little guide to help for a visual. It's 2.75 by 2.5. So my white daisy piece that I'm going to put on here is going to be cut just a little bit smaller than that. So I'll do 2.25 by 2.5. And then that will fit really nice right there on the card, and then it'll back it up. So just kind of wanted to go over a little bit of measurements with you. When you get your kit from me, you will have a full colored PDF file emailed to you with pictorials and showing you exactly how to do everything and put it all together. So you're going to get one piece that is 2.5 by 4.25, a 4-piece, a 4-inch, not a 4-piece. I'm not sending you chicken nuggets. Sorry, by 1.5, a 1/2 inch by 4.25, and 3/4 by 4. So that's how that's all going to go. We're going to do some dovetailing. So that means 2 of your pieces are not going to touch the edge of your card base. So these 2 pieces right here are intentionally put centered at the top and the bottom, and it's designed to make it look like it goes all the way through, and in fact it's 2 separate pieces. Everything is double-sided, right? So if you don't like the way that I have it set it up, feel free to turn your papers over. And I always like to do a dry run before I put any adhesive down. I always like to do a dry run. So let's say that you really didn't like the way that my mind ran the pieces together. You flip them over and you can make them any you can change that whole card up, the whole direction of the card. Okay, so I'm just doing a dry run. I just want to make sure that my pieces are exactly how I want them to go. And then we will dovetail these pieces down here, and they will go right here. So same card, just flipped all the pieces over. I flipped this over to the lighter side, which remember all of our cardstock is two-toned. So let's go ahead and get those adhered down. I like to use my ATG gun, but Tombow is a really good adhesive, and the Close to My Heart adhesive is really, really good. So those are some things. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. I'm going to go ahead and do the reverse of what I did initially. Just put a little adhesive on all my pieces, and then I can just lay it right down. So the smaller piece goes to the top. Super, super easy. And you're just going to leave a small border on your card base right around all the edges. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. So if it's not the same, I don't want to push it down. That way I have room to play with it. And if you have a Cricut spatula, this is a great tool to have, how it lifts up real nice and easy. And then I'll just twist it to kind of so I move it instead of pulling straight up so I don't rip my paper. Okay, I like that, so I'm going to go with it. And now I can just build the rest of the pieces by just butting them up to each other and aligning them with the sides and edges of the card. See how easy that is? So remember, these 2 pieces are meant to go all the way to the edge, and then the bottom and the top are meant to have that border. Super cute. So let's do our dovetail. Here's the original, and then this is the play. I like both of them. I love this. I love that they're doing the throwbacks on the paper. So the brush collection is available through the month of July. So make sure that you get that, and that they have the throwback stamps that came with it originally. So now we have all of this set down. My piece is going to go here, and if you wanted to, you could even turn it, right, so that it's a completely different layout. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to put some adhesive here. And the really nice thing about when you get these kits, if you're a visual person, I am 100% a visual person. I will email all the links to the tutorials that I do, just the assembly process, so that you have that, so that if the written instructions are great, but you need just a little bit more help, then you'll always have these to come back to. So there's a bonus. Great. So we have the basic structure of our card put together. Let's do our stamping. So the really nice thing about my Versamat right here is I flip it over, and I already have a sponged area where I can go ahead and do all of my stamping. So this particular card that we're working with, I'll put this right here. It's the Sure Do Miss You. So I used two different sentiments on here. I used the Sure Do Miss You first, and then I'm just going to get out my long block. And I use just regular black ink because I'm not going to do any coloring. So I don't need to use that intense black ink. You want to use the intense black ink when you're doing your coloring. And we'll do that later on this week with this card right here and this card right here later on this week when we do these. I'll show you how to stamp in the intense ink and get a really nice color blend with your markers. But for now, we're just going to focus on this beautiful card, which I love. Less is more sometimes, and I love how this has a little bit less, making it a little bit more. So we're going to kind of come, not right at the top, but just a little bit down, straight down and straight up, and it gives a really nice impression. I love, love, love this font. It's like little typewriter font, if you will. So I can clean off my little stamp over here, and now I'm going to come back in with Sending My Love. And then we will do the swoosh. So I'll grab a different block to do this one on. I'm going to grab some Pixie ink to do my little swoosh on. I think this time we'll do it in My Love down at the bottom. And again, just straight down and straight up. So while that's taking some time to dry, before we do our swoosh on it, it doesn't take very long at all, we're going to go ahead and grab the Dragonfly and our little scrap of daisy over here. We're going to stamp that. Clean him off. And this is regular black. I am going to color it with markers, but I'm going to show you a little trick so you don't have to worry about bleeding with it. And then let's come in with that swoosh while the Dragonfly dries. I love this little swoosh. Maybe it's called something quite different. I'm not quite sure. I'm calling it a swish. And I'm going to stamp it in my Pixie, which I had it right on my workstation, ready to do stamping. Tap, tap, twist, twist, tap, tap. And then we'll do it right over My Love. Straight down and straight up. You can do it wherever. You could do it over the Sure Do Miss You. It is your card. You know, it's wherever you want it. I'm going to come in with my black journaling pen, and I'm going to do a little doodle around the edge of that. Okay. I'm done with my stamping, so I'm going to flip this back over so I have a harder surface to work on. And then I'll do my doodle. So I'm going to go straight along the edges. And there's so many ways that you could do this. You don't have to do a straight line. You could do little dots like you stitched it, dashes like you stitched it, or dots, or what have you. Sometimes I like to do little tick marks like this to kind of make it look like there's a little staple holding those edges on. So lots of different ways to do that. It's just whatever element that you're going to go for. So we're going to take our 3D foam squares tape, circles, whatever it is you have on hand. I'm going to use that to pop this up. Do a couple of more right here in the center. So it doesn't sag. And one more, two more. There's a pokey tool that is really, really effective for pulling those off. And then we'll just kind of center that right here. Look how cute that is coming along. All right, so this is pretty dry. So now I'm going to grab my blue, True Blue, Tri-Blend Spectrum Norm markers, okay? And this is the trick. This is such a tiny little space to color in. So I'm going to zoom in. So if you get seasick, just look away for a sec while I zoom it in, because the phone will kind of wobble when I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dark end. You could do medium, you can do the light. This is just personal preference. And all I'm going to do is just dab. I'm just going to do tiny little dots like that. So I'm able to fill it in, and then I kind of avoid, oops, too far, so sorry. So I kind of avoid doing that swooshing back and forth and having that ink bleed. It may bleed just a little bit, but it's not going to be anything that's super noticeable. So just dotting it. That's all you're doing, just putting little tiny dots in. And again, it doesn't matter what color you use. And you just try to stay mostly in the white area as much as you possibly can. And I'm not going to do any blending, because then I'm really going to get that ink to smear. And I don't want it to smear. It'll turn like a greenish color, if you will. Okay, and then we'll just finish off the ends. Again, I'm just doing dots. And that dot is a really effective way of filling in those little spaces and avoiding that ink from bleeding. If you're going to do some serious ink blending, though, you really need to focus on using an intense black ink and let it dry, so that you don't have it'll turn green. I wish I had something to show you. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to come in with my clear shimmer. Ever so lightly, I'm just going to add a little bit. Again, I'm just doing those dots because I don't want that bleeding to happen. And you'll really notice it on this. I don't need a lot. I just need a little bit. And then we can see a little bit of that shimmer go through. Okay, now we just need to fussy cut this out. And you can get as close as you want to it, or leave a border if you want. I'm going to try and get as close as possible to my Dragonfly, and I'm going to work around by turning the paper. And I absolutely love these scissors. They are hands down my ultimate favorite scissors ever. You guys have probably heard me talk about them time and time again. And then once I get this all cut out, that's when I'm going to come in with the stickles and really just add a nice few little dots where the black is on the Dragonfly. I lost my train of thought for a second. Apparently I can't talk and cut at the same time. And I'll zoom out here in just 1 second. As soon as I get this fussy cut. This is probably the trickiest part, is when you get these little pieces like this and getting them to work. Great. All right, so let me zoom back out. So hold tight here if you get motion sickness. You see my little work mess over off to the side. All right. And I'm going to come in with a little bit of liquid adhesive. It's just easier to work with than trying to get the tape on this. And I don't need a lot. I just need a little dab of it on there. A little bit goes a long, long way. There we go. So I don't want it to smoosh out the ends. Okay, and then I just put it right there. And then I'll come in with my stickles. Some of that air out of the bottle, and I'll do 3 dots down here at the bottom And then these little black dots that you see on the Dragonfly here and here is where I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to also accent his little head. And then I'm going to want to not touch this for a good 20 minutes to a half hour. That may or may not be possible because I will probably forget as I'm cleaning up my station. So here is card number 1 of kit 1. So this is the original design. And here we just flipped all the papers over except for the tags and to create something new. Now, if you come back in tomorrow, I am going to do another card and we will work on creating the shaker kit in here and our little surprise element card using the July stamp of the month and the brushed stuff. Again, you guys, this is all awesome. It's all pre-cut and you get it free from me as a thank you for shopping with me. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. and we will make another card from my kit, and you guys have a blessed Monday. Bye everyone.